In today's video, I'm going to go over how to handle an issue with a renter. It happens all the time, and I'm going to go through my process. Every situation is a little bit different, but I have a specific scenario that I actually just left, so I'm going to go over that with you guys now. First things first, let me just let you guys know why I'm doing this. So this is video 8 of the Turo Chronicles. I do this because there are a myriad of people out there talking about the Turo hosting business and how to start your business and the Turo game and everything of that nature. However, they don't talk about the minute details that you go through on a daily basis. So what I am doing here is walking you through the process of what I go through on a daily basis of my Turo business that I started back in November of 2021, and giving you guys the ins and outs of everything that I go through. So stay tuned for the video.
Arriba. I want the bad forever, ever, 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 ever. I want the bad forever. I want the bad forever. I want the bad forever, ever, ever, ever.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Car Guy back at it again with another video. Today I am out and about for various reasons, and I'll go over those with you in just a second. But first, I want to say thank you to everybody that's been tuning in and watching these videos and subscribing and stuff. I appreciate you guys so much, man. You guys are incredible. Giving me praise about what I'm doing and lets me know that I'm on the right path. So I appreciate you guys. So let's get right into it. Basically what happened was someone rented my Jeep Grand Cherokee. As you guys know, I have a 2015 Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited that rents out very often, and I had it rented for, I think this trip was for about 4 days, and so the guy rented it from me. It was a remote pickup at the airport. I've gone over that in a few videos back. Video 6, I believe it was. This is video 8. And basically, when he picked it up at the airport, and I drove it to the airport, and I didn't observe any issues or anything, right? But he said that he could smell like a mildew smell, kind of like it had water damage or something like that, right? Now that's odd. I didn't smell anything, but granted, I do take very strict precautions when I'm dropping these cars off, as far as protection. Like I wear my mask and gloves and everything like that, so that could have been obstructing my smell. So I hadn't been in this car for a few weeks at this point, and he basically was like, yeah, it just smells like mildew. And so I was like, okay, you know what, I'm not gonna deny that it may smell like something, because I may not have smelled it. Plus, when I dropped it off, it was extremely cold, and smells aren't very prevalent in the cold. Normally show themselves when it's a little bit warmer outside. So he had it for a couple days, and he said, yeah, it smells really bad. Now the day that he got it, he picked it up yesterday. Yesterday when he got it, he didn't mention anything to me when he picked it up. Granted, it was in the evening, and so it could have been for whatever reason, but he didn't mention it to me that initial day, which I didn't I don't think too much of it, because it could have been for a number of reasons why he didn't mention it, but he mentioned it this morning, the very next day. So I take it as being honest. And so basically we were going back and forth, and he was explaining to me the situation and what had happened, and what he smelled and what he was witnessing or whatever. And I was like, okay, things like this happen, and I try to give my renters the best experience possible. Now, of course, in this situation, I could have been very combative. However, I wasn't, because, you know, at the end of the day, I'm in the business of customer service. And that's what I'm trying to provide, is customer service. So, in order to provide the best customer service, you know, I kind of was like, okay, you know, if this is the situation, okay, that's okay, I understand, and I will try to do my best and rectify the situation. Now, when I asked the guy, I was like, hey, you know, where are you at? Now, granted, he's not from here, so who knows, you know, what that was about. Basically, he said he was in a specific part of town, and then when I told him that I'd be on my way, he told me that he was in a totally different part of town. It's like I said, he's not from here, so I chalked that up to maybe he didn't know the area very well. And so when he told me he was in this area, I was like, okay, cool, you know, just send me the address and I'll be on my way. Now, I do have my own shampooing equipment, because I figure if any smells are coming into that car, it's likely either from one of two things. It's either the cabin air filter or it's the carpets, right? So I was like, you know what, I'm willing to bet it's coming from the carpets, because he had told me in the conversation that he smelled it as soon as he opened the door, when he picked it up from the airport. Now, why he didn't tell me initially, I don't know, but you know, it is what it is. And so I brought my shampooing equipment out there. I went and checked it out. Now, granted, it's a 30-minute drive for me, so it's a little out the way, but not something that I'm not used to, and not super inconvenient, simply because I didn't have much to do today anyway. And I went out there, checked out the car, and he came outside. I was like, hey man, you know, thanks for coming out. And you know, I was like, yeah, show me, you know, what you're smelling. Let me see what you're smelling. I get into the car, and of course I still have my mask on. I get into the car, and I was like, okay, I don't smell anything with my mask, but let me take it off. As soon as I took my mask off, I was like, okay, you know what, I do get the sense that there is something here, you know, that's kind of odd. He said it was unbearable. I don't think it was unbearable, but you know, it's subjective. You know, if he felt like it was unbearable, then you know, it is what it is. And so I was like, you know what? Okay, your claim is valid. And Turo tells you, you know, handle everything with the client rather than, you know, going through Turo, because Turo's going to add a bunch of fees and a whole process and all that other shit, and they really don't want to deal with it. So, you know, I kind of handled it on my own through Turo messaging. Everything was through Turo messaging. Nothing was left outside of that, as far as like phone calls or anything like that, or private text messages. I wanted to make sure that all of the evidence was in the Turo messaging. And so I basically took care of it. I brought my shampoo and conditioner for the carpets, shampooed the carpets pretty well. It took me roughly about an hour and a half to get everything done. He was like, I'm not going anywhere, so he didn't have, you know, he was at a house, so it wasn't like he was like out at a restaurant or something like that. He was at a house, so he gave me the appropriate amount of time to take care of the situation. I took care of it as best I could, and then when I was done, you know, because he went inside and did what he had to do or whatever, and I stayed outside and took care of the carpets. And so I told him when I was done, I was like, hey man, I think I figured it out. I think I got all the smell or whatever, and if you want, you can come check it out. You know, it's entirely up to you, but I think I pretty much got it. He was like, okay, yeah, sure. He came out and sniffed around a little bit. He was like, you know, this is a whole lot better. And honestly, I just appreciate you for even coming out here and, you know, trying to take care of the situation. Of course, I told him, I was like, you know, I don't think I got everything. I don't think I got all of the smell, but I'm fairly confident I got majority of it. So I do know that it is the carpet. And I will replace the cabin air filter as soon as it comes back and it returns the car, because just to make sure that everything is smelling fresh. So he's like, I appreciate you coming out here and trying to take care of the situation and doing a whole lot better job, and or doing doing me a good service. So I do appreciate that, and he was a pretty cool dude, and I was like, I appreciate you understanding, what I'm saying, giving me the amount of time, and I hope this leads to a decent review. I did ask for a good review, just simply because I went out of my way to make sure that this customer and this client was taken care of effectively, and so he was like, absolutely, you don't get this kind of service from anybody, so he was happy to give me a decent review, and yeah, that's basically the end of the story. Moral of the story being that there's an opportunity in this business to be a jackass. I mean, just to be frank with you guys, there's an opportunity in this business to be just to not give great customer service, but the consequence of that is bad reviews and potential future business being lost. And so, moral of the story being, do your best to appeal to your clients. Now, I'm not saying every situation warrants this type of response, because there's been several situations recently that haven't warranted this type of response, because it's people have been lying and stuff like that. So, but when someone talks about, hey, the quality of the car isn't as well as I thought it was, or there's something that they didn't have any control over, and it's something that I could have done differently or done better, I will do my absolute best to take care of the situation. And so yeah, that's my story. If you like this type of content, if you like these videos, the Turo Chronicles videos, make sure you smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, because I'm going to try to do this all the time, as many videos as I can, as much information as I can give you guys, because like I say in the intro, I do this because I feel like there's a lot of holes in this business that a lot of people don't talk about, and I'm trying to fill those gaps. I'm trying to, give you guys some insight to every part of this business, every aspect of it. Some things that people may miss in the business that have maybe, made their business completely automated, which I am leading towards, and I will talk about that in a separate video. But yeah, so I'm trying to fill those gaps, fill those voids. So like I said, if you like these type of videos, please smash the like button. Hit the subscribe button as well. Leave a comment if you have something that you would like me to talk about. Ask questions. I'm always available. I'm always open to answering questions. I'm in several Facebook groups, like I've talked about before. Turo Host Atlanta, and Turo Blacklisted, for all of those members that have experienced bad renters. I created a list of incidents and names of profiles that are deemed as bad renters, just to let everyone know, hey, these people have treated other hosts poorly, so just be on the lookout. Not to say that you don't need to rent to them or anything like that, but I give you guys the information and the tools so that we can prevent things like stolen cars or things like that from happening to other people. So like I said, smash the like button, hit subscribe, and hope to see you guys in the next one.